Xavi Simons stands at a career crossroads. Risk it all in the Premier League with Chelsea, or play it safe and potentially fade away. But here's the problem. Chelsea already has Cole Palmer, their star playmaker, with 15 goals and 8 assists last season. Can Simons even compete? Premier League breaks flair players, but there's one surprising stat. Simons wins 60% of his aerial duels, better than most Premier League playmakers. Is that enough to survive? Let's break down whether this move is career suicide or the making of a legend. The Premier League has a way of exposing flair players. Just look at Jadon Sancho's struggles at Manchester United or Johnny van der Beek's failed spell. For Xavi Simons, this isn't just another league, it's the ultimate test of whether his technical brilliance can survive in a league that punishes hesitation. Last season in the Bundesliga, Simons completed 3.5 successful take-ons per game, dancing past defenders with ease. But the Premier League's physicality is a different beast. Fullbacks here don't just defend, they hunt in pairs, and midfielders like Declan Rice or Rodri don't give second chances. Simons does have one surprising edge, his aerial ability. Winning 60% of his duels last season, he outperformed most attacking midfielders in Europe. That's rare for a player his size, but it might not be enough. The Premier League's speed has humbled players with far more physicality. Just ask Kai Havertz. After leaving Leverkusen, Havertz needed 2 full seasons to adjust, and even then, his goal contributions dropped by 30% in his first year at Chelsea. The Bundesliga's slower build-up and higher defensive lines allows creative players more time, but in England, Simons would face relentless pressing from teams like Liverpool and Tottenham. When you compare Simons' 123 progressive carries last season to Chelsea's current midfielders, the numbers look promising. Conor Gallagher managed just 84, and Enzo Fernandez had 97, but carries alone don't guarantee success. The Bundesliga's open spaces won't mirror the congested midfield Simons would face in England. History isn't on his side either. Only 22% of Bundesliga attackers maintain their goal contributions in their first Premier League season. Even Jadon Sancho, who tore up the Bundesliga with 16 goals and 20 assists in his final season, managed just 5 goals in his first 2 Premier League campaigns combined. Simons' versatility could be his lifeline. He's not just a playmaker, he can play as a winger or even a false 9. The question isn't whether Simons can adapt, it's whether his creativity can survive the Premier League's notorious transition period. Most imports need at least 6 months to adjust, but Chelsea's impatient environment might not give him that time. That's why the Premier League is the ultimate test for Simons. If he succeeds, he proves he's among the elite. But even if he clears this hurdle, there's a bigger roadblock waiting: Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer didn't just have a breakout season, he rewrote Chelsea's playbook. With 15 goals and 8 assists, he became the focal point of their attack, operating as the central playmaker in their 4-2-3-1.
Palmer, lovely turn. Cole Palmer setting himself up and getting a goal for Chelsea.
That's the problem for Xavi Simons. His Bundesliga numbers, 9 goals and 15 assists, suggests he could compete, but the tactical overlap is unavoidable. Both players thrive in the same spaces, and Chelsea's system isn't built to accommodate 2 creators who want the ball in identical zones. Heat maps tell the story. Palmer and Simons both gravitate toward the left half space, the area just outside the penalty box where playmakers like to drift. When you compare their movements, it's clear they'd be stepping on each other's toes. Palmer creates 2.3 chances per 90 minutes from central areas, while Simons generates 1.8, but often starts wider. That slight difference, it might not matter when both are trying to occupy the same real estate. Chelsea's attack could become predictable, with 2 players hunting the same pockets of space. There is a twist though. Insiders say Chelsea sees Simons as a winger, not a direct competitor to Palmer. His defensive work rate, 1.4 tackles per game, could make him useful in a wider role, tracking back to help the fullback. But that raises another question. Is that the best use of his talent? Simons excels when he's free to roam, not when he's pinned to the touchline. Forcing him into a rigid winger's role, it might limit his creativity, something Chelsea can't afford if they're spending big to sign him. The stats highlight another gap. Palmer's pass accuracy in the final third is 85%, compared to Simons' 79%. That might not seem like much, but in tight games, those misplaced passes add up. Palmer's decision-making in crowded areas has been sharper, and that's why he's become Chelsea's go-to creator. Simons' slightly lower accuracy suggests he takes more risks, but in the Premier League, where transitions are faster, those risks can backfire. So, can Simons displace Palmer? Probably not immediately. Palmer's chemistry with the team is already established, and his numbers are too good to bench. That leaves Simons fighting for minutes in a role that might not suit him. Enzo Maresca could try and adjust the system, maybe shifting Palmer deeper or using Simons as a false nine. But Chelsea's track record with tactical tweaks, it's not great. Mykhailo Mudrik's struggles shows what happens when a player doesn't fit the system. Cole Palmer's rise has created a roadblock for Simons. Even if he adapts to the Premier League's physicality, he'll still be competing with a player who's already cemented his place. And that's before considering Chelsea's ruthless environment, where patience is in short supply. Chelsea isn't just another club, it's a system that chews up talent and spits it out. Romelu Lukaku's disastrous return and Hakim Ziyech's rapid fall from grace prove that. The club's approach to young players is particularly ruthless. Since 2020, 60% of their under-22 signings were loaned or sold within 2 years. That's the environment Xavi Simons would be walking into, where patience doesn't exist and adaptation periods are a luxury. Simons' right-footed preference when playing on the left could become a problem sooner than expected. Chelsea demands versatility, and any perceived weakness gets magnified in their system. Just look at Mykhailo Mudryk, a player with explosive talent who's supposed to meet the club's demand for immediate impact. When performances dip at Chelsea, players don't get time to work through it, they get replaced. That pressure cooker environment has broken players with stronger resumes than Simons. There is one factor working in Simons' favour: his set-piece delivery. With 3 assists from corners last season, he offers something Chelsea currently lacks. Against low-block teams that frustrate Chelsea's open play, his dead ball precision might earn him crucial minutes. But set pieces alone won't keep him in the team long-term if he can't adapt quickly to the league's physical demands. Behind the scenes, scouts praise Simons' locker room presence. At PSV, he became a leader despite his youth, and at RB Leipzig, he quickly earned teammates' respect. But Chelsea's dressing room, it swallowed up stronger personalities. The combination of high expectations, constant rotation, and media scrutiny creates an environment where even confident players can unravel. History shows that technical players coming to Chelsea face an uphill battle. The club's loan army strategy means they're always looking at the next potential signing, never fully committing to player development. Simons would need to hit the ground running in a way few Bundesliga imports manage. Even players who eventually succeeded at Chelsea, like Kai Havertz, looked lost in their first seasons. That's why insiders see Simons primarily as a winger option, rather than a central playmaker at Chelsea. His defensive work rate makes him a better fit out wide in their system. But this raises questions about whether Chelsea would really maximize his potential. The club's track record with hybrid players is mixed at best. They prefer specialized roles in their rigid structure. Simons' La Masia background gives him one advantage: he's used to high-pressure environments. That resilience helped him adapt quickly at both PSV and Leipzig. But Chelsea represents a different level of scrutiny, where every misstep gets magnified. The final question isn't whether Simons has the talent, it's whether the risk of joining Chelsea's chaotic system outweighs the potential reward. Xavi Simons has shown he's not just another flair player. His aerial ability and Bundesliga performance prove he's tougher than most technical talents. But Chelsea's crowded midfield and impatient culture make this the most dangerous move of his career. History shows he's not afraid to bet on himself, leaving Barcelona for PSG and later thriving at Leipzig. Yet, Chelsea's track record with young attackers should give him pause. The smartest career moves aren't always about the biggest clubs, they're about the right fit. So, what would you do? Take the Chelsea gamble or wait for a better opportunity?